Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. The false image of Christ is actually Satan's image. Why? Because the Lord is a warrior and the devil is a beta that refuses to man up, right? Ver in virtue means man. And in reality, say this guy worked out a whole bunch and acted like he's tough and joins the military or the police or some gang or some MMA group or whatever. Okay? Traditional martial arts, whatever. Okay? He's still not manning up. So everyone who doesn't obey God through me is on this guy's side of the debate, and that's the false image of Christ. That's one of Satan's main images. Okay, it's a kind of Greco-Roman image, the pagan cults that were against the Christians, what have you. And of course, the early Christians were a controlled opposition ruse. That's a story for another day. Now, why did I put this picture by what is called the Narmer palette? The people on the internet edited it. I'm sure that these people by now have gone to the original palette itself and edited it as well. So these people who kind of look like an elf, right? Kind of look. No offense to these people. Okay, I don't care so much how you look, but I have to explain what's going on. Okay, I'm not racist against your race. Okay, they kind of look like an elf or something, or a Greek, or whatever that look is right there. They elf molded this, and they've been doing this with Native Americans. They've been doing this with I've seen Thai statues and the Buddha's image and so on and so forth. They've edited it to make it more like them, and they have a bunch of people worshiping false images. Then they're global corporate businessmen. They're global cult people. I'm sure everyone watching this video knows that I'm right. Okay, so Narmer, he's holding a mace, which is a symbol of royalty, believe it or not, in Egypt at the time, and he's defeating a guy, look at him carefully, who looks more like this guy. This palette had more of a, Narmer on the Narmer palette had more of a round face, okay? This, and they've done the same thing with my pictures, right? Where my face is somewhere in between a round face and an elongated sort of elf face, but I don't look anything like an elf naturally. They edited the pictures to make it so I seem like I did. They try to have the same the same spirit, the same essence, the same way about my pictures as this guy. To try to have it the same way as him. Now, a few of me trying to make it harder to speak. Again, the people doing this are mildly retarded. We'll get to that momentarily. Okay, so here it doesn't show up that well, but this guy has a belt on, a long belt, okay, and he also has a necklace, and you can pull up the image yourself on the internet, the Narmer palette, and the necklace is similar to a Shinto sun belt, okay, and Kuro Obi means black belt. Obi means King Heart Hut, Essence Temple Center Core, and if you think about it enough, it means Christos, anointed king, okay, spiritual king that came down from heaven, Eri, okay, and Horus in his older form, one of his names was Haro Ares, Harware, Horus the Great One, Horus that came down from the sky, the Son of God who came down from the sky, the top martial arts. So this guy, for lack of a better description, is of Igbo descent, because the Igbo is a word that may have come later on. Who knows what this guy's tribe name was, but the idea of the Igbo people, a certain faction of them, is where we get Narmer on the Narmer palette. And this is why the Japanese and the Chinese and all these groups, right, even Jiu-Jitsu, they wear a black belt, right? They wear belts, okay, in their systems because it comes from the king, right? It comes from the king of the Igbos, the martial art king, not some gay guy who's allowed to sit on the throne, which is probably the case right now. There's a bunch of different kings there. One of them is from Neri, one of them is from the Eri cult center. None of them are the true king. That is me. I'm the king of all kings. And I'm of evil descent. I'm of Igbo descent. Okay, now remember, these are bitch ass motherfuckers, okay, that caused me to slip on my words. These are people with technology. These are people that look like this in Alpha Kappa Sigma, Freemasons, corporate groups, okay? These are people who don't use their heads, who are greedy, and they are nerdy. Okay? I am not evil, I am good. Being mocking God by making his image look like you and making faces like Freemasons and rich English royals are known to make, like Prince Harry and Prince Andrew and King Charles, making funny faces and not taking life seriously while people suffer. Oh, yes, we're British, we can do what we want. But in this kind of particular nerdy variation of it, okay, being arrogant, that is fucking evil. These pictures aren't just silly and people refuse to man up, no offense to anybody, but they are evil. So is God's son the Royal African Falcon top martial artist? Or is he some kind of mocker? Okay. Well, what is Hebrew? Hebrew is an Afro-Asiatic language. Afro first. It's not a Eurasiatic language. It's an Afro-Asiatic language. So we can cross out this false image and say shame on them for making it. We can know that, not all black guys are serious, and not all black people, and basically no black people, are obeying God through me, so it's just me. So we can cross out these guys, and these guys, and these guys. We can immediately say that they're not ideal, and they're not Christ. I am. Now we also look here, this guy's wearing some kind of clothing, we'll say, over this part of his body, and so is this guy, right? That's why I pointed to this in the pictures. It's nearly identical, the idea and the way, see, they're trying to make this guy seem gay and mock God, and they're trying to make their false image of Jesus, they're making it gay. Gay, Jewish, nerdy, frat-like, Greek-like. If you don't know that I'm right, you have serious, serious issues. And you need to get your head checked like a angry punk rocker, that thinks that the answer is to harass me or something. Not necessarily this person, right? You need to get your head checked because punk rock, rock and roll, okay, is inferior to the Royal African Falcon martial arts. In fact, every culture is. But certainly cultures of self-destruction and a complete mocking their families, mocking God, mocking their race, what have you. Mocking themselves, okay? Give me a fucking break.